Secretary of State Antony Blinken is traveling to Jamaica to attend a high-level meeting on Haiti today. The U.S. is evacuating non-essential personnel from its embassy in Haiti as violence in the capital escalates. And it comes after a massive prison break earlier this month. Now, the situation in Port-au-Prince has become increasingly dire. Many can't even find basic necessities. Vladimir Duthiers takes a closer look at the growing crisis.
Desperation in Haiti, where UN officials say around 15,000 people have been displaced in roughly the last week amid the latest spike in gang violence. Missing from action, Prime Minister Ariel Henry, who has been staying in Puerto Rico since last Tuesday.
And finally, we signed.
Following his return from a diplomatic trip to Kenya to lobby for security backing. Some in Haiti's capital of Port-au-Prince, including gang leaders, have called for his ouster. In a press conference last week, feared gang boss Jimmy Cherizier said his forces would fight Henry until the last drop of blood. And on Sunday, the U.S. Southern Command confirmed the military had conducted an operation to fortify the American embassy in Port-au-Prince and evacuate non-essential personnel.
The U.S. Embassy is actually located in a crossroads of about 3 powerful gangs.
Jacqueline Charles is the Caribbean correspondent for the Miami Herald. She said Haiti is near collapse.
Port-au-Prince itself is basically landlocked by gangs that control all of the major roads out of the capital. There are no international flights. There are no domestic flights to get to the north, which, remains relatively calm.
The Biden administration has been considering contingency plans for months, but has decided not to send military troops to get involved. That's according to a U.S. official. We've reached out to the White House for a statement, but we have not yet heard back. Joining us now for more on the situation in Haiti is Richard Cantave. He is the CEO of Haitian Nomad, which is a global tourism company. So, Richard, one of the points that I think we should sort of emphasize is the point that Jacqueline Charles made in the piece, which is the images that we're seeing are all coming out of Port-au-Prince, the capital. The rest of the country is relatively stable. And there are we could do hours on why everything is centralized in Port-au-Prince as opposed to diffused around the country. Like most countries around the world, there are multiple ports. There are multiple cities with different factories and manufacturing. Everything in Haiti is centered in Port-au-Prince. That's due to the dictatorship of the 1950s. But I want to have people understand, from your perspective, what was Haiti like, for example, before the earthquake when you were a child?
Yeah, good morning, guys. I'm happy that when I read the caption, it specified that most of the gang violence was happening in Port-au-Prince, unfortunately. But a lot of times they say Haiti and they think it's the entire country. Now, growing up in Haiti, I was born and raised in Port-au-Prince. I went to school in Port-au-Prince. And, I remember days where, I could go to school freely without having to worry about any kind of violence or anything happening affecting school or anything like that. It wasn't perfect, but, it wasn't what it is today. So it definitely has taken a big change and change of event.
So then it must be absolutely heartbreaking to see this video, to hear about the dire conditions. I want to get a sense of just how you feel watching and hearing the news.
I mean, you put it perfectly. It breaks my heart. Right now, I'm in St. Martin. I spent 20 years in New York. I didn't want to do the cold anymore and decided to move to the islands. If I could move to Haiti, that's where I would be right now. I have 2 little kids, and I would have loved to see them growing up in Haiti, but that's the situation we're in right now.
You'll probably recall, Richard, that a few years ago, the former president of the United States referred to Haiti as a S-hole country. And a lot of people are looking at the images that are circulating on the internet now, some images which are actually old and don't have any connection to what's happening today. And some of the language that is used around Haiti and Haitians is dehumanizing. But as I try to remind people, and Anne-Marie and I have talked about this in the past, about Haiti's history as the first independent Black republic in the history of the world, what does it mean for you to be Haitian?
Growing up in the United States, I remember when President Obama became president, and, I've seen so many African Americans crying. And I have to say, I didn't understand it the same way as them, because for me, growing up in Haiti, I've always had a Black president. I've always had the freedom, being in Haiti, that you can do anything you want because of who your ancestors were and what they accomplished. So that prepared me to basically a life in the United States where nothing and nobody can affect what I could do, my potential. So being Haitian is definitely a sense of pride that I carry around the world.
Well, Richard, my heart breaks for you. I cannot imagine what it's like to be so close to Haiti and not be able to travel there. Do you have relatives there?
Yes, I have a brother who's still there, but my sisters, my parents are all in different places in the United States, which is a thing that they don't talk about a lot, because when these things happen, families get displaced and you grow up apart.
Yeah, right. That's another thing that we could discuss. Richard Cantave, thank you so much.
Thank you.